guys, you are once again welcome to the Ryde channel. You know, on the Ryde channel, it's all about cars and motorcycles and motoring in general. And today we have a very, very special show. You know, we are all about education, giving you great education to enhance your motoring experience. I say always, and as usual, have my should I say my partner? Yes, I think now I can say my partner here, Salom Atachi. And yes, today we are talking cars. We are talking about who is your mechanic, how to choose a mechanic, who is your mechanic. If you're watching, please send us a message and tell us who is your mechanic and why you chose that person to be your mechanic. Very, very interesting discussion we're going to have this evening on the Ryde channel. This is Ryde Talk. Let's just get straight into it. Salam, once again, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, brother.
How did the week go?
Oh, it was a good week, and I know the coming week also will be better.
Okay, awesome. It's gonna be a great week, as Salam is saying. Yes, for me, my week was very, very, very tough, but rewarding. Yes,
okay,
I mean,
that's great.
For the past week, there's been a lot of activities. We had a display at the forecourt of the State House last Saturday.
Wow.
Okay. Then Monday, I get a message, guys, you are going to be part of the Independence Parade in Koforidua. So yes, I had to organize that. I had to travel, you know, and a whole lot of dealing with politicians, which is not easy at all. It wasn't a joke. It was a really, really tough week. And yes, then I had some visitors also coming through corporate, working with our company. So I had to receive them yesterday, and we took them to a couple of places, and I had to say bye to them this afternoon. So
you have been busy.
I've been busy. In between, also hitting the office, checking the emails, answering the mails, and all that. Yeah,
I know.
Wow. It's been awesome. It's been awesome, and I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to come to you with this particular live. Yes. Yes, hello. Yes. So we are talking about who is your mechanic.
Your mechanic,
yes.
Yeah.
Tell us something, Stella.
So, before as we are getting this started, we should understand that a vehicle or a car is a machine. You understand? Even with we the human beings, we need to maintain ourselves. You get it? Like, make sure you take good care of yourself. In the same way, you need to take care of your car. To have a good car is basically how you maintain it. Somebody can have a very old car and maintain the car, make sure that they take very good care of the car. And that, truth be told, boils down to the mechanic, the one who does it for you. So in a human being's case, is the doctor. You get it. So if you have a bad doctor, I've heard so many cases where somebody will go to the hospital, they gave him drugs that he was not supposed to take, and it became, one of them became fatal. He actually got kidney failure.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has to deal with it. So in the same way, imagine you get a bad mechanic, there's nothing wrong with your car, then you just go and approve some things, Charlie. So it's very necessary for you to take care of your car the same way you take care of yourself. So maybe that's a prelogue to what we are coming to discuss.
Okay. All right. So you heard it from Salom. If you are going to be taking care of your body, you need a good doctor.
Yes.
The same way, if you are going to be taking care of your car, you need a very, very good mechanic.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what we are about this afternoon. If you are watching this particular live, we are helping you to make a decision on choosing the proper mechanic, your car doctor.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. So What are the things you look out for, Salom, when you have to select a mechanic? I've heard you share a few stories here and there, so I know, the Ghana experience.
I think it's in Ghana here, most of the times, you get your mechanic based on someone's recommendation. Most of the time. I mean, I'm sure it's everywhere. Somebody recommending, oh, guy, well, you good pa. You call somebody, oh, my gasket is at 40 or my distance is 40, oh, minimum B. Then they'll just give you a number, then you call, you give the car to the person, and you hope the person will do a good job on the car for you. So in Ghana, most of the times it's based on recommendation. But then it's just like any other thing. Do your own research.
Yeah.
So they tell you that, okay, this guy is good. If it is not a problem that if the guy messes up on will cost you a lot, then fine, you can try here and there. But if it's a major thing, one thing leading to another, that's leading to another, then I think you should do your research. It shouldn't be only based on someone's recommendation.
Okay. You should do your research.
Yeah,
based on just one person's recommendation. Yes.
Do your research.
Do your research. So what are the things you're going to look out for?
So for me, I'm going to look out for the person's experience. Okay. So in Ghana here we call them masters. And fine, I mean, there's somebody who can be very young and be a master, but you are going to, of course, engage the person, find out what is it that you are good at, what have you done, what are you capable of doing. I mean, in a workshop, you see a lot of broken down cars. You can ask questions like, why are the cars there? Is it because the people didn't have money to come and do it, or they just came to leave it there? Just a casual talk, but you are fishing. You are trying to get information. So how experienced is this person? And even the person who is really recommending the mechanic to you, look at the person's car. If the person's car is okay, if the person's car looks okay, fine. But if you see that the car, actually this car, I mean, you advise yourself. So experience is the first thing.
Yeah.
And another thing about mechanics that we need to really address is if the person is reliable.
Okay.
How reliable is the person?
How reliable is that mechanic?
Is the mechanic. If the mechanic is not reliable, you should understand that actually you can't rely on anything he does for you. And there have been incidences whereby when I was a small boy, we had this car overheating. Oh my God. See, we'll go give the car to the mechanic. It will come back a week later. It will overheat again.
Wow.
I mean, it brings.
What car was that?
It was an Opel.
An Opel.
Yeah. It was, I think, the Opel. It was an Astra, I think.
An Opel Astra.
Yeah.
Yeah, Astra.
Overheating, it would overheat.
Okay.
You understand? So reliability too is there, and if you can, I'm not saying trust the person, but the person should be trustworthy. When they can, most mechanics, I've seen it so many times. As you said, we were talking about it at that time. They'll go and buy the part. I understand it's business. I know that Charlie, we are all doing business. But you realize that Charlie, the guy will go and buy the thing 1 CD and come and tell you that the thing is 30 CDs. You get it?
Yeah.
Mind you are, as you're going to the mechanic, for consumer, what's the word I wanted to use? For the consumer to understand or to know what we are talking about, you have to understand price is also part. I mean, you go to a place where the price is cool, is good enough. You understand?
Yeah.
So the person being trustworthy is also a thing where the person can tell you that, oh, I want to buy this thing 10 CDs and this is what I'm doing, this is the job I'm doing for you, blah blah blah. So you also be nice on your pocket. And another thing you also have to look out for is how neat is the place where you go there. You may think that is not a big deal, but you see, it's these little things that can finish your car for you. Maybe the guy, he just throws anything anywhere, there's sound everywhere, he doesn't clean the place. And fuck, if to me, I think it speaks a lot. if you are clumsy with where you are, your environment, me, I can just assume that you are clumsy when you are coming to these things, because most of the things they do for you, they take the car apart and they try to put it back together.
Okay.
So if you are clumsy, if where you work is clumsy, I can only assume that, as you said, you you take the engine apart and you forget about the gungeon pin. And whilst putting the engine together, Charlie, you'll be driving around and you realize that the car is misfiring. Yeah, and that can lead to something else. So these are some of the, but for me, these are some of the things that I look out for.
Okay.
The person should be reliable, experienced, trustworthy, and be organized.
Okay. Experienced, trustworthy, but how do you check to be sure you're able to fix your car?
Okay, so right, you buy a car, let's assume they are not cheap, but we are to the dealers.
Okay.
If it's tear rubber, so you see with the dealers, as we are saying, you can be sure of the work they are doing for you. They are keeping the car nice for you. We have taken cars to dealers before, Charlie. When they are cleaning, when the place is organized, they are very careful that we don't leave oil spillage, like nothing. The place is properly organized. They work for they feel problems, you take to the engine people, whatever it is, they have a process they follow. So if it's tear rubber, in Ghana here dealers are expensive. That way it's not a lot. But for me, it gives me some sort of peace of mind. That I know that even if I take it and it's supposed to be a return job, they are going to do it for me, and they are going to check other things. I mean, they will always use the
original part
and diagnose the car.
Diagnostic tools.
Yeah, proper diagnostic tools. So for them,
let me tell you a story. I've been talking about diagnostic tools. Let me tell you a story about diagnostic tools. So I like to frequent and spend time at Abosoka. Now for those of you who are not around in Ghana, you don't know what's up. Yeah, when we say Abosoka, okay, it's a spare parts hub, a huge expanse of area filled with spare parts shop. Some selling new parts, some selling used parts, some selling reconditioned parts, parts of salvage vehicles, all manner of parts you're going to get. And these days they are very, 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 very well stocked. You get a lot of things that will beat your mind. Yes. Right on this show we had Kojo Baini. Kojo Baini is an importer, and he has also put up a very nice workshop in his a very nice workshop. And he was telling me that these days when he buys the cars from salvage auction in the US, he hardly buys or buy parts at all, because he's sure that whatever parts he needs, he will get them in Abosoka. Yes, but so one day I was at Abosoka hanging out with the boys there. Then they needed a car diagnosed, so they made a call, and this guy came. Okay, he came with some bag, some briefcase.
Usually it's red.
Yes, no, this one is some tan colored. Right. He came with his laptop and he came to connect it. And Charlie, and chatting with the guy, I realized that this guy is not literate. This guy is not literate.
As soon as you realize that,
yes, but some way somehow he's so basically he goes about with a laptop with a diagnostic software and some cabling on it, OBD2 or whatever, and all he does is to clear the what do you call it, the checking,
the error,
and he will charge you 250 Ghana. Charlie, they were boring.
But that's the thing. Truth is, you don't really
to a certain extent. But you see, I have a video coming out for TikTok, and that it's about diagnostics. Yes. I mean, I have a $20 diagnostic tool always in my car. These days they become very, very cheap. I'm sure you can even get some like $10 or even less.
Okay.
And I'm like, the fact that you have a diagnostic tool, the fact that you can plug it in and read the codes of your car, does not mean that you know exactly how to fix a car, or you know how to solve the problem, or you can even diagnose what the problem is, because diagnosis of the issue is different from solving the issue. They are very, very different things.
Two different things.
And sometimes also the diagnostics of your car's issue is not what is showing on the screen.
Okay.
The screen of the diagnostic software will show certain things, but that is not the problem. We'll be talking about that. So these guys back in the days when these diagnostics, they'll give you thousands, those sheets. Like, they'll give it for you. It's like when you diagnose a car, then the problem. And this particular discussions that we have is let's go check his channel out, subscribe, okay? And yes, we are doing this together. And today we say, who is your mechanic? How do you choose a mechanic? Okay, your car is, the expert says that apart from a building, the car is the next most expensive thing most households will spend money on.
True.
So it's a serious thing. It's not something that you have to take lightly at all. Okay, so who is your mechanic? You have bought the car. Okay,
how do you
maintain it to put it on the road and maintain its value? For a car, immediately you drive it out of the showroom or out of the carport, you already lost some money. Yes, in the form of depreciation. But what is left? How do you keep it? In fact, even the choice of car will determine how much
money you lose.
How much you lose. But that discussion will have another day. Today we are talking about mechanics.
So I wanted to add a little to the experience.
Yeah.
So in Ghana, most places you go to, you realize that the mechanic will be experiencing, say, a Honda car, or maybe Kia cars, or maybe Korean cars. Okay, that in a way helps you a bit, because then you understand that, okay, this guy is an experienced person when it comes to these kinds of cars. So he, I want to say he or she. I can say he or she.
Yeah. We have a lot of females.
Females who are into. So he or she would understand what is happening with your car. So I like to give this example. So I used to work at this dealership, okay, and the people have worked on the car for so long. As soon as the car comes in and they just listen to the car, they know what the problem is. Yeah. Like they themselves are the diagnostic machines. As soon as they hear now, car radio, you open it up and you realize that it's the same thing. Yeah. One electrician, therefore if they use so the experience is very important. Okay. Yeah. If you realize that the person is doing only these kinds of things, it's very important. So those are for the let me put it as quanchen. When I say quanchen, the roadside mechanics, or the people who have not been able to establish their place of work.
Yeah, a well-organized workshop.
Yeah, well-organized workshop. Yes, so those are some of the things. But now we are having people like Stancast who now have organized places where they can open it up for you.
Yeah.
So for those places to, again, it comes on recommendation. You go there, you have a chat, you give them your car. They are on a higher level. We have quite a number.
Yeah.
There's some on the Spintex Road. There are
a lot of great workshops.
Workshop.
Yes, well organized, up to standard.
Exactly.
Okay. Workshops now in Ghana. People are gradually getting it, and we have mechanics who are also upgrading themselves, learning, and they know what you're about. And you are right. In Ghana, a lot of experts in one car, the other, or a group of cars. So some will say German car expert.
Exactly.
Some will say Japanese car expert. Some will say Korean car expert.
American cars.
Some are even brand based. They'll say, okay, Honda and Toyota. Some are just one particular brand. But me, I can tell you that I've been to a lot of places that say they are one thing or the other.
But they still do everything.
Yes. Some will tell you carburetor expert. Some will tell you a gearbox expert. And sometimes a name that they will use to call a particular part of the car will tell you,
you should be careful.
You should be careful.
You see, that's all part of what I said earlier. You engaging them.
Yeah.
You get it. Engage them.
Yes.
Listen to what they're saying.
So that you have the recommendation, all right. Yes. But note that sometimes maybe the person has had good, luck with that person.
But you,
if I can use the word.
Yeah, but you,
but
it will
it won't work like that for you. So you're going to have a good chat. Okay. So like you're saying, let's recommendation. Go and have a chat with them. This person, mentioned you to me. I have this problem with my car. It's reoccurring. I took it to this place, and just listen to them. That will mean that you will also have to, educate yourself a little bit. And that is why Ryde Channel exists, to educate you, so that you don't go about uninformed about your car. So that when you go to a mechanic and you are talking, they know what you are talking about. And let me say this again. That is why this channel exists, and it is very, very important for you to be informed about your car. It is a crime to go using a car uninformed. You get hurt, your heart will get broken, and you weep, and your pocket will cry unnecessarily.
Let's just spare some people.
Yes, so please be watching these videos. And educate yourself, so that when you meet this guy and you are chatting, I tell him, okay, I have this problem, I took it here, I took it there, and the problem is not going away, and you start talking, then he starts responding, and the things that he tells you, if you know a little bit about cars, it's not like you have to know plenty. If you know a little bit about cars, you know that what the person is saying is he's a good mechanic, or he's a dangerous mechanic, if I should say.
Or maybe a learning mechanic. He's not learning. He's not.
Your car. No, you see, your car carries you.
Yes.
Your life.
Exactly.
Your life is, yes, because today driving here on the N1, okay, there was this mini truck that for some reason the axles have seized.
Wow.
Which means that the rear wheels were not moving, and it is a 5-lane dual carriage way, and the car was right in the middle, and they were trying to push it. Okay, so supposing this thing happened and there was some big trailer behind you, this is a mini truck,
what would you do?
It will flatten you.
Just have to run for your life.
Exactly.
And when you're running for your life, crowd, there are cars coming from other side. So how sure are you?
Mechanics, I'm talking to you if you want to learn. Not my car.
It's very dangerous.
It's very dangerous. And that's also very important, because I have a couple of mechanic friends, and sometimes when you tell them, when other mechanics come in for apprenticeship, they are not, should I say, patient enough, to allow themselves to be taught. I have had the opportunity to work as an educator, okay, at one part of my life. That was what I used to do. And I would tell you that for someone to be able to learn, okay, for someone to have to teach somebody, that person has to be ready to do what? To learn.
To learn, exactly.
Yes. The fact that you sit in a classroom doesn't mean that you are learning.
Well, you're even ready.
Yes.
You're not ready to learn.
I always used to tell my students that, look, it's like somebody giving you something. If I'm giving you something and you already have something in your hand, how do you take what I'm giving you? A teacher stands in front of the class, or let's say an instructor, teaching you how to be a good mechanic, and you are like, I know this already, I know this already. You cannot learn with that attitude.
Exactly.
Yes, so that is also part, because sometimes you encounter certain people, I have mechanics who are very, very well experienced, but even when they meet you, are not a practicing mechanic, but because of what you do, you've picked up a lot of knowledge over the years, and you are talking, despite the fact that they are so experienced and they are skilled and experienced, but they still have the ears
to listen to
you, and that is a kind of mechanic personally I like. Somebody who wants to learn new things always. Yes. So if you're out there, yes, gather some things. You cannot work as a mechanic, but once you have a car, you gather a bit of knowledge here and there. Anytime you have the opportunity, read a little about it, watch shows like this, educate yourself, so that when you go and you start talking to your mechanic, you mention certain things straight away. The mechanic, if he's sensible, he hears certain things. I'm using the word sensible, yes, because some of them They're on a different level. Even when you are telling them sense, they still
They
won't
don't
get
listen.
it. They still won't get it, and they will be blowing jazz. Straight away they will get them, and once they get the memo, they go check themselves. And if you're out there watching, thank you so much. This is the Ryde Talk live right here on the Ryde channel. You can be part of the show. Send your message or voice message to WhatsApp 020 468 4798 020 468 4798. I want to send shout outs to Tommy Singh. Yes. Tommy is a great guy, man. He's a great guy. Yeah, Tommy Singh out there in Ada. When Tommy hears car or motor, Charlie, his excitement is on a different level.
Amazing.
And Tommy Singh out there. Tommy, Charlie, bless up. So you can send your messages 020 468 4798. Who is your mechanic? That's the question we ask. Very important question. Yeah. If you are sick, you don't just go to any hospital.
Sure.
So your car too, don't just take it to any mechanic. So we are saying that a good mechanic should be trustworthy, should be skilled
and experienced.
Should be
reliable.
It should be reliable. Okay, so that's 4.
So with a car, right? As I said, there's a machine. Anything can be to the car.
Yeah.
You need somebody. Again, I think I picked the number 5 from you, who is ready to learn. Unfortunately, I can't say for the mechanics we have here, that is the roadside mechanics, okay, that they have any experience from the people who manufacture the cars. So most of them, they try to get it. Quite honestly, I've been thinking about it. I don't know where some of them get their knowledge in cars from. Maybe they have a general knowledge. A car has an engine, it has a carburetor, it has this, it has that, it has an exhaust, it has this how they have a general knowledge of how a car functions. But then they probably might just be picking things up as they go on certain cars. Because as you said, the way Honda will put their cars together, that's not the same way Toyota will do that.
Yeah.
Even though they are all from Japan. The way Hyundai will put their cars.
Hyundai. But you can. They say you can say it any way that you're comfortable.
The way they put their cars together is not the same way. Toyota or any of these brands put them together. Awesome. So you realize that there will be different arrangements or even different designs to some of the things. So they pick them up as and when. So if you have someone who is willing to learn, who is a learning mechanic, even though he has some experience and some skill, he's willing to learn. I think for me it works. Someone who also listen to you. Because as you said, some mechanics, you go here telling them no, the thing is coming from here. They feel that actually they are borrow because they are mechanics, they are borrow. But you realize that at the end of the day, that's not where the problem is. They are who driving or who cannot. That's where it is. Even if you look at in cases like Formula One, you realize that the engineers know what they have done.
Yeah.
They are so sure of what they've done, but they are very particular about the feedback from the driver, because at the end of the day, he's the one experiencing all the vibrations and the shocks and the impact and everything of the car.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who listens and is ready to learn, for me it works. Okay. I can trust you with my car.
Okay.
So that'll be my number 5.
Number 5. A mechanic who listens.
Yeah, a listening and a willing to learn mechanic.
Okay.
That one I'm taking from you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So to buttress that, I'll say, okay, the mechanic should also be always learning more. It's just adding to number 5, learning more, improving, because the cars we have today are improving.
Exactly.
The technology is being improved every day.
Exactly.
If you take the any car, 2016 model, and you take 2020, 2023, even a year difference. One of the things I've been saying, why I always say that if you can buy new, one of the points is that recalls, for example. A car can be manufactured today, and tomorrow the next one will have some changes done to it. all right, because probably there's been a recall. Okay, so between the two cars, if you've only experienced the one from yesterday, okay, and one day you get the newer one, you will struggle a little bit because some of the components might have changed.
Exactly.
Okay, so cars are changing so fast. You also have to educate yourself on a daily basis.
So do you think so there are levels, as we said earlier. So they are the wayside mechanics, they are the very organized workshops, and they are the dealers. Right now, I mean, let's agree on these three categories.
Oh yeah. I mean, yes. Basically.
Now, if you look at the well-organized workshop, they have the capacity to actually travel to wherever they make the cars and learn, as you are saying, year in, year out, new technology, new facelifts, new designs, things can become different. But for the first category, that's the wayside people.
Yeah.
Like, you see, they are abreast to a certain level. And this is me being honest. Okay, they are abreast to a certain level. And most of them, like what you said about the diagnostic guys, he is not what you call illiterate. Okay, he learned it from a master, and he's now a master who has his workshop, and he just believes that, I have what's it called? The car has this, how it moves: engine, transmission, exhaust, finish. And with the engine, you have some components there, finish. You have the fan. If the fan is not working, then what's it called? The engine will overheat. So if you come with overheating problem, the only thing you might be changing is, or we'll be looking at his fan. You have what's it called? Your light is not working.
Yeah.
Change bulbs. This is not working. This, or maybe the fuse. So as you said, they have specific people. So they have the electricians.
Yeah.
Who, when the car comes, they are people we assume, or they assume that they have all knowledge when it comes to electricals.
Yeah.
So the wiring, the fuse, everything, the radio, all those things. Yeah, the electrician is the one supposed to do it. The mechanic, his is the bang, 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 the hard things, the engine. That's how they have broken it down.
Yeah.
Now, I want us to exploit this region before we go to the next one. I think it will better help the conversation, because now if you say who is a mechanic, I can just say that as I told you, just go to the dealers. Just go to the dealers, but maybe to someone's price bracket, dealers will be a bit on the high side for them.
Yes, I mean, I don't think that we are advocating here that I mean, it's an advice. Okay, but not all of us can afford to take our cars. I mean, to yes, even some of the people who can afford might still find that some other independent mechanic shops give them very, very good service.
Exactly.
And they cater for all their needs, so they don't even. And you might even find some independent workshops which might be even more expensive than the dealers.
Very true.
Okay.
Very true.
Yes. So for me, like you were saying, the last point, we mentioned was education, educating themselves, learning. You don't necessarily have to travel, especially that everybody is on their phone. I mean, sometimes you go to Makola, and the women are selling, and their phone is there, and they are watching things on YouTube. I mean, my mom is well advanced in age, but she watches stuff on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? And I say that she's not that techie.
Knows how to navigate her.
Yes. Okay. So it's about YouTube movie video. So yes, very, very important. Or I was
even going to say, to buttress that point too, there's nothing wrong with you going to these. I don't know if it's done, but then this organized workshops or even the dealers, to ask them to learn. You could just go to them. I am a mechanic, but I've realized that these cars coming, they are on a different level.
You are right. I mean, there are training institutions. For example, when you come to Rana Motors has a mechanic school called West African Auto Academy, and West African Vehicle Academy, and they are people who are very, very well trained, very well qualified, training people who train mechanics. Okay, and mechanics come in. Even just a few months ago, they organized what they call diagnostic cup, where some of their students and students from other institutions come and compete against each other in diagnosing cars.
Amazing.
And they give cups for it.
Okay.
Trophies, if I must say. And it's solid. And these are the things that we support. All right. Okay. Welcome back. We lost the signal there, and yes, our stream was truncated, but we are back. Yes, you are watching the Ryde channel, and this is a Ryde Talk Live, and today we are asking the question, who is your mechanic? And we've captured 5 points, things you have to look out for to choose a great mechanic: trustworthy, skilled, and experienced, reliable. We talked about
ready to learn
or improving daily, organized. Yes, these are 5. Okay, so point number 6, which I was speaking to when the signal went down. Yes, point number 6.
Yes,
I will say your tools. Yes, same way when you enter a doctor's office and the place is dirty, the place,
I think it will fall under being organized, the clumsiness.
Okay, I mean, not even the dirty, I mean tools,
the tools you have,
the tools as a mechanic you are going to use to work.
Okay,
if you don't have the basic set of mechanics tools, okay, I won't give you my car. Okay. Yes, if you don't have the basic set of mechanics tools, a full set of wrenches, good pliers, box spanners, if you don't have a good set, when I come there, I'm watching, I'm looking. Okay,
but it is arguable. I've been to places.
You talk.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying it's arguable. I've been so I've been to places, right, where they will tell you that, like, in their experience, that car you bring, or you are bringing there, or the car that they work on, like they working on Toyota cars, maybe the bolts that they use is just a particular number. So they don't see themselves like, okay, ABR, I need this one. Now I'm just hear me out. So it's like once they get maybe that particular tool, that's it. It's just for that car.
No.
Most of them, that's what I'm saying. It's arguable. They can just work with it. They feel
yes, you can work with it, but there comes a time where you might have to extract a clip. There one time that you have to extract a clip that is holding, let's say, a bearing. And you don't have that tool, that has the anona church saying and just because of that, then they will go and bring some screwdriver and hammer. Then time to finish the
okay, so that's okay. I like where you're coming from.
I mean, I'm not saying you should have every tool. I'm saying you should have the basic set. Okay, basic set of tools. That's why I say basic wrenches, different sizes, ring spanners. Okay, ball spanners, basic good sets of pliers. You should have your own jack. They say jack.
Usually they use your own.
Yes, usually. And I find it very, very, very annoying because sometimes they end up spoiling it because
that's true.
The way they use it at a workshop is really, really heavy. Sometimes if you are not careful, they will even go and use it on another car that is far heavier than the rating on your jack, and they will spoil it, and then you have to go and look for money to buy it, which is not fair. A good mechanic shop, you should have your own set.
Okay, and I see where you are coming from.
Okay. Yes, then you should have jack stands. The jack stands.
Yes. So once you jack, you can just put the car.
Yes. My boys they'll put some wood. Now they're black to so. Yeah, balancing on. Yes, and yes. So basic set of tools. Yeah.
Okay.
You should
I
have.
sup- I-
You should
I
have
second
those.
that one.
If you have those, if you have like the lifts, if you have lifts and you have all those things,
It's good.
better, all the better. If you have AC, AC machine, for example, you have your diagnostic tools. I mean, you say you're a proper modern day mechanic.
Yeah, one stop shop. That means
You should have. You should have. I mean, these days, diagnostic machine full.
That means you're going to the second category.
So, okay. So to start with, personally, in my personal experience, okay, I use roadside mechanics only if it's an emergency. Okay, only if it's an emergency. That is when I'll bring it to a roadside mechanic. All right. Okay. Or I want them to do something that I am going to dictate. Like I know them, so I will dictate exactly what should be done and how they should do it. And I know that they have that listening ear that they will listen. Okay. Before otherwise. Yeah, the first one is out.
It's out. Then we go to the second.
Yeah.
The dealers.
Yes. So that is a proper tools. I know in many jurisdictions, if there's somebody starts a mechanic shop or opens a mechanic shop and employs mechanics, they are all supposed to come with their toolbox.
Tools, yeah.
You come with your toolbox and you leave with your toolbox.
Yeah. You maintain your toolbox.
Yes,
toolbox.
Yes. So when you close, you lock it up and you go. When you come, yes, you are responsible for everything. Okay, because I know several people who run mechanic shop, good mechanic shops, and I know the issue with tools. And this is what I'm suggesting. If you are running a mechanic shop and you are having issues with tools, okay, maybe now you have to help all the mechanics to acquire good tools. If you have to invest and give it to them and deduct from their salary and say, you get it, then they all right. And yes, I had the opportunity to go to Scania West Africa, their workshop in Tema. It's just beautiful. All the mechanics have their stations and all of them have their tools, and it's just beautiful. Yes.
When you said that, you were just excited.
My heart was singing. That's a place I would love my car to spend time.
You can trust that.
And let me say it again. There are places that I like my cars to spend time. There are some places to where my car, for any reason, appears there. I want the car to vanish as soon as possible, or I will sit there with my eyes open like an eagle, not a hawk. See what they're doing. Let them go out of my sight. Hey, massa. Yes, so that is it. Tools very, very, very important. Okay. Yeah. Then the mechanic shop itself, the structure is very important. Okay. Now I'm going to add one to it, which doesn't happen a lot, but because we don't think about it. Okay, and is the mechanic shop insured? Okay. Now
it will then depend on which category again.
But the first category. But the thing is that it doesn't take. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. But let's face it. A lot of them.
No, but you see, we should strive for it to get to certain places. And if we only say that only the people who are charging plenty money can do certain things, it will remain like that forever.
Because personally, I've been thinking about this. Why is it that we cannot, before you become a mechanic, even with the first category, right? You need some sort of certification, okay, before we allow you to run a wayside shop.
If we had certification, okay, so probably if Ghana Standards Board was certifying mechanic shops, okay, this would have been we wouldn't even be having this conversation, okay, because they would do all that job. So once it's a mechanic shop, you look at their certification, you know that, okay, when I drive my car here, I'm safe. Okay. Now we want to get these things are not things that are crazy expensive. Okay. And I mean, these companies, once they see that mechanics are willing to come to them, talk to them so that they can get some level of insurance, I'm sure they'll have packages that will work.
Yeah.
You get it? Yes. In Ghana here, you can even insure your car for 1 week. Even 1 week.
Also. People don't know that, but you can.
Yes.
You can actually do it for a week.
Yes. And talking about insurance, once again, let me say it. I know a lot of you don't know. Immediately you drive your car into a mechanic shop, whatever auto insurance you have on it is suspended. So if anything happens in that auto shop, it is the responsibility of that auto shop to take care of it. So if your car ends up in a mechanic shop and the place, there's a torrential rain and the place gets flooded,
you're on your own.
Okay, that shop is supposed to replace your car, because your comprehensive insurance ends at the entrance to that mechanic shop. You can verify, ask any insurance, call any insurance company.
You see, and these are the details. These are the details that most drivers don't know.
Same thing is with CSR show.
Most drivers don't know this.
No, if you understand. So I'm very, very, very careful when my car goes to a workshop. Certain workshops, if my car goes, I have to get it back that day. Because and I sit there
and watch.
And sometimes those who don't know, they would think that you are being something too much.
But they don't know is this
we work on better cars and you're coming to do
I like my car.
I like my car. You can work on better cars. This one is
my car.
That one is not my car. So you can do whatever you want with it. This one is mine.
It's my car.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of, you see, like the topic we discussed last week. To the mechanic, you think that maybe a Range Rover is better than maybe me driving a Yaris. But the way I got the Yaris,
Massa,
before getting the Yaris,
the sleepless nights.
You
and the
work before you get the Yaris.
Before you get the Yaris.
Don't do that statement. That's the
you have no idea.
You don't know. That's the idea.
So that is something that you have to, you understand. Yes, in Ghana, immediately your car enters the mechanic shop, the insurance, whatever kind of insurance you have on it, is suspended. So please, it is worth spending a bit more money and going to a mechanic shop that has all the qualifications. I have a friend who has a big Toyota workshop. He just does Toyota cars, and he's like you. He studied the same course at the same institution.
But I'm sure he's my senior.
Oh yes, by far. And he's worked in so many institutions. And even after that, he's educated himself in more courses. At the moment, he holds a doctorate in admin, but he runs his own mechanic shop in Tema, specializes in Toyota. And some months ago, I think somewhere last year, one of his trusted mechanics, had an accident with a customer's car. Yeah.
I hope he was insured.
He was insured.
Okay.
He was insured. Yes. But even that, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Yes. I mean, even going to tell your customer that, you brought your car and we're testing it. Yes. I had a friend who used to work with Silver Star when they had a Mercedes-Benz dealership. This was long ago. Yes. And he had an accident on the Mortuary Road whilst he was testing a very expensive Mercedes. Yeah. So it happens. Even when you are there, because sometimes they will do some work and they have to test it.
Oh yeah. You have to make sure.
Sometimes they will tell you go and test it.
They don't know that it's in your hands.
Yes, but sometimes I think that they have to test it. There are certain things I can test and I can tell you that it's working or it didn't work. But there are certain things too. I think that the mechanic needs to test it. Yes. I mean, testing is a very important part of auto diagnostics.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
How then would you know that what you've done is working? You have to test it. You have to make sure that what you have done is working well. So before you let it go.
So the structure, the mechanic, the shop setup itself, yes, it has to be looked at. And I think that, I mean, we all have to strive that in our society we'll have more. I mean, if you started by the roadside, I don't expect you to remain at the roadside forever.
No.
Okay, you started by the roadside. Yes. In a certain time is coming, roadside mechanic shop will be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
we should go past that cry. You get it? Then move on to a next level. We are not saying you should have like a big outfit. Yes, you can have a small place, then gradually build it up. If even your house that you live in, if it's your own house or you are renting.
I know people who started that way.
Yeah, I know.
They use their house. They just have a big foyer. They just go there. You park the car there.
Yes.
They work on it.
Your point two was well organized. If you are well organized, yes,
you should be able to do that.
Don't take in cars that you are not ready to fix. If the person has a problem, he brings the car, you diagnose it, and he's not ready to buy the parts or he's not ready to import the car. Don't take it in. If you have to put it on a trailer to go and put it in your house,
take it back.
Sometimes you go to a mechanic shop. When I come to my workshop, the cars chow plenty. Masa uni mejuma.
See, that's what I say.
It kills my vim.
Yeah, in the conversation, like why? That's what I say. Like why are the cars there? Because some customers actually get very angry and they leave the car. Like what's the car no? There are customers like that.
But if somebody even does that, sell it or you also dispose of it in some way somehow.
Some people too.
Because I think it's a very very bad look.
It's a turn off
to those of us.
Yes, a turn off actually.
Who are informed. Some people might think that meaning thinking that you are working. But for me, if you have plenty cars, you are not working.
Because why are they there?
Why are they there? The cars are not getting fixed.
Well, your job is
some of the cars can be there. It is falling apart. Some of it moss and
the car is in a very bad shape. Like,
and as we ages, if you can't fix the car, or the owner of the car is not willing to put in the investment, let them come and take the car away.
Take it back.
And the interesting thing, I have lots of friends who run workshops, as a matter of fact. And I remember a friend of mine who runs a motorcycle shop, and at a point they had so many bikes just strewn all over their compound. And one day they just woke up and they decided that today we are not working. We are going to put all the bikes that the owners haven't come here to tell us anything for a long time. So they took them and put them by the roadside. By close of day, almost all of them had come to pick their bikes.
So just by seeing their bikes on the roadside,
how did they even see?
Yeah, how do you even know? That's what I'm asking.
How do you even know?
How did you know?
Somebody will go and tell them, Charlie, you move to Nesia Bontino, this and that and that and that. I'm telling you, by close of day,
everybody came for this.
All the motorbikes had been picked up. And those which were remaining either had been somehow negotiated for that, or maybe paid for to be fixed and stuff like that. So if you allow it, it will fester. That's how it is. If you allow some people, all they do is some people, their mindset is that cars are disposable. So they buy the car and they use it. They will only barely spend enough to keep the car on the road. Immediately any big ticket item comes up for replacement, they will rather go and buy another car than pay for it to be fixed. You get what I'm saying? And you are going to be the one,
bearing the space. Mind you, yes. Take space that you could use to do other things. It's taking space. For some of
there are good mechanics out there.
For some of the dealers, I had experience with them more.
Yeah.
If the car is there, like what you're saying, is there for a long time, they will just keep adding to your charges.
Yeah, they'll charge you for it.
They'll charge you for it. You
they will get to the time, they'll just auction your car.
Sharp.
About more coins.
Yeah, they will tell you that the car is there, nobody was coming for it. They'll sell it and give you.
And I think that every mechanic should have a document that when people bring their cars, they sign.
Yeah.
And in that document, pay lawyer 1,000 Ghana, 2,000 Ghana. Let them write something for you. Let them write plenty English. Take my advice. Let them write plenty English. Then in there somewhere they should put it that when you bring your car and we diagnose it and we give you what you should do, and it elapses more than 1 week,
we sell it.
We sell the car.
No, but you see, I think
we'll inform you. Then we'll remind you a couple of times.
Exactly. I think on the
latest 3 months, your car will be sold.
Yeah, we just sell it.
Or your car will be possessed. We will take the car because the rent that you have accumulated
to pay for the car, exactly.
You know, and once when people come and they are signing,
take
ask them to read.
Or you tell them that this is what is in the contract.
Yeah, you can spell it out.
They'll take it serious. Because I think, like what you're saying,
they'll even respect you for that.
Yeah, because I think what you're saying, there are so many wayside mechanics, and they are giving the mechanic workshop a really bad name.
Yeah,
so many of them, but there are some of them too that are very good. You understand? Some of them too are very good, but it's because of the situation that they find themselves in a wayside area, but they are very good. They know the job. You get it.
Some people are good, but they are what do you call it? Some are good, but they are arrogant.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's because they think they are good. Yeah, they are pompous. I think it's because they feel they are good, and you know that's why they are like that.
And you know what? Every time I come into contact with any mechanic that, you know, he has that reputation that he is good, especially those who specialize in particular cars, and I happen to meet them and they are arrogant, they end up being very, very, very bad. Not that they don't know.
They disappoint, actually.
Yes, that is the point. They disappoint because they don't have the time. They don't respect you to even fix your car for you. You know, and they just keep beating about the bush. They will go and they roam about and come and issue instructions to their apprentices without even supervising them properly. You know, and in the end, a lot of them have gone out of business. I know several mechanics who have gone out of business.
You see, so that's the thing. If you keep going on with that attitude, you realize that you will not last, because you'll be producing a lot of bad works. And the more you produce these works, the way somebody will refer you to his friend, that's the same way the person will say, oh, this guy, you go spoil your car. You understand? So I think that those people, arrogance, they're ready. That's what I'm saying, ready to learn. I like somebody who is willing to listen, because I've had an experience whereby the car was taken to the mechanic, and they told him that, oh, this is what is happening, and the mechanic just off the bat was like, oh, this is the problem, and the guy was saying that no, where the noise is coming from, that is not what you are saying. Like the guy was so sure, like what you are saying, knowing about your car. The guy was so sure.
You go to a doctor and you are telling the doctor that, doctor, my stomach, when I eat, I feel pain here.
Exactly.
And the doctor say, no, it is your head, so I have to give you.
I mean, how?
You get it? I mean, how? So if somebody drives his car to you, okay, now the person has a certain level of trust in you, so you also reciprocate by giving that person that respect to listen to the person.
Exactly.
And testing the car. Okay, then these days with your tools as well, you diagnose, you know, then properly you come at a solution.
Exactly.
Charlie, kind of fixing it is not rocket science. It's just a bit of patience. With your knowledge and experience and all the things we've talked about, you should be able to make sure that people are smiling and enjoying their cars. Yes. Any other points?
For me, I think these 6 points hold solid for me.
Yeah.
These 6 points. I mean, with other things, that is with the pricing, that one there. Well, and you know, I also think that if it's a mechanic that fits all these points, right? One point you can add is proximity.
Okay.
Proximity is also a very important thing. How quickly you can get to the person in terms of a problem. How quickly or if maybe you are close enough that maybe in the morning your car is not starting, you are close enough, you can call the person can come around and fix it for you. Proximity, now, and I think it is a byproduct. Let me put it that way. I mean, if you get proximity, it's fine. I really travel from Springtex to Osukai for the mechanic. That one too is there, but if they are close, I think it helps.
It helps. But the thing is that even if you have your mechanic, you know, close to your house, I'm sure most of the time your car, if it decides to break down, it will break down far. But the good thing is that if your car is being maintained well, you know, you God willing, it won't leave you stranded somewhere far. You know, and yeah. So proximity, yes, I think it was also
proximity.
helps. Yes, then of course also the money. Yes, you always have to find out what's the charging range is.
Exactly.
You know,
if you take your car here, how much will they charge you?
Yes.
If you take it here,
you need to have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, some people when they smell the car, there's a charge. Okay, and it's not like it's on small charge, it's on heavy charge. Okay,
just see the car, they charge you.
Yeah. I remember I took a car that I was selling, and some people were interested in buying, but they wanted a certain company to look over it. Masa, the price that they give me just to inspect the car and tell the person that the car
is in a good shape.
Hey, massa.
I can back home.
Oh, I said bye bye. No, I mean, the people are not even willing to pay that money.
That was like a back home.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, so have a good conversation with the mechanic. Yes, I mean, a good mechanic who knows what he's worth will tell you that, look, I mean, yes, we can fix this car, but the price that we will charge you might not be worth it. So you know what? Maybe go to this other person. Yes, because probably a mechanic has positioned himself in a certain place, bought the equipment too much, acquired skilled labor too much, put himself at a certain place. He cannot undersell himself.
No.
Okay. Probably if it's an emergency, maybe he will help you and charge you small pay. Yes, but like if it's proper work that he's doing for you, yes, you might not be able to afford it. And I'm sure a good mechanic should be able to understand and educate you that, no, you know what, this is your car. I mean, because if the car is worth a certain amount of money and you bring it to a workshop and only servicing is going to cost a certain amount of money, it's not worth it. Yeah. And I think that sometimes it just happens. And it's through no fault of anybody's.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in it. There's no shame in it at all. Yes, somebody can afford Rolls Royce. Somebody too can afford
Toyota.
Something. Please, Toyota. Hey, we have big time Toyotas. What?
Toyota Yaris.
Yes, steady.
Toyota Asia.
All right, guys, it's been a great show.
Yeah.
Yes. Sam, do you have any other things to add?
So please take this chat very serious, because so many people think it's a joke till they fall victim.
Yeah,
there have been mechanics that will chop your money. Like they are honest. You bring the car, they'll fix a radiator. They'll fix the radiator and they'll go and mess up something else.
Yes.
So if you realize that you are falling a victim of that, change your mechanic.
Yes, and let me just add to this. Some people just put this person is our house mechanic,
a family
mechanic.
They'll cost you so
when the
much
mechanics
pain.
see that you trust them and you are so dedicated to them,
they'll cost you
they
pain.
will spin you well.
They will fix the radiator. They realize that you take the car.
The story you gave me the last time, I
was telling you. Let me say that story.
Share the story. We have a few minutes.
I was driving. It was our fall. I think in 1990. In 1990 or 1999. It's a very old RAV4.
Yeah.
And I realized that there was smoke coming from the right side. And that was actually strange. Because usually if it's overheating, it comes either from the left or from the front.
Yeah.
So I parked the car and I realized that the ATF was leaking and it was falling on the belt. So that was causing the friction, was causing the smoke. So I called the mechanic and I told the mechanic that, oh, boss, this is what I have noticed. So come and pick up the car and fix it. Now this guy comes, he takes the car the whole day, literally the whole day, and brings the car back. Now he tells me that he has changed the timing belt and the steering belt and some other stuff, and he has filled the ATF. Now I take the car from work, I'm going home, overheating. Oh, how is this possible? I really understand. The same day, I was like, no problem. I called him. He was like, it's the fun. So I should bring it the following day to work. I should manage it and bring the following day to work.
Yeah.
Do work on it. I was actually there with him. When he came, we removed everything. He was saying that it was the fuse that is connected to the fan. And that's what I was telling you. The statement he made was, electrician we cry some catch the say no we can't probably me a mechanic no. So he spent the whole time, he couldn't do it, and he said that he had to manage the car to his workshop and fix it. He brought it the following day. So the following day, the guy brings the car. He says that he has connected the fan directly. So now there's no problem. As I'm going home, now you step on accelerator. The car says that I will not move. Somebody that the car will use for like 3 days. So now you step on accelerator, the car will just be jerking before it will pick. It will pick fire. So imagine that this guy is a mechanic. Then you just keep going back and forth. Eventually you spoil your car. And he did that before with one of our old cars. Now this guy was always we were always having back-to-back issues. The guy will come and fix the car. You bring it 2 days later, another issue. Then one day we just decided, okay, you know what, we are selling the car. And immediately the guy had it. He just said that, I will buy. See, you somebody who is messing the car. He said you buy, no problem. We sold it to him cheap price. Now, fast forward some months later, we see the car and we are even jealous of the car. We're like, we call him Jack. So to me, you can't see. And the car to me, the guy started laughing. The guy spec the car like a macan, and unfortunately for the guy, the day that he brought the car to our place, my old boy had a problem. So he had to take my old boy's car, and my old boy drove our car. My old boy our old car,
your ex-car.
My ex-car. And when the old boy came in, the way he laughed at us, like he said, the good car, because the car didn't have any problem person. It's just that the guy will go mess something up, solve a problem A, mess up another thing, and bring it back.
Some mechanics, that be the modus operandi.
So that some people have that in mind, that so that they'll get jobs do all the time. And if they fix it for you completely, you can come back again.
And those mechanics too, unfortunately, they don't progress.
They don't progress. They just stay at one place. So
yes.
That's my
so let's go over the points. Trustworthy, experience, skilled and well trained, willing to listen, willing to improve themselves, have great set of basic tools, Then we added the extra of the insurance.
And they should be well organized.
And you get to know these by engaging them.
Exactly.
And you cannot engage them if you don't have any knowledge. So make sure you build up. We are not saying become mechanics, but build up your store of auto knowledge if you want to enjoy your motoring. And that is why you always have to make sure Ryde Talk lives every Sunday. Today we are late because we had a few technical issues. We are still getting to grasp with our new studio, and I'm sure very soon we'll master everything and we can deliver very, very well. This is not our full-time jobs, we have other jobs that we do, because this thing as of now is not paying, formed so that you can enjoy your it's been me, Ediku, with Selom Atachi. Yes, right here. So you go to RPMGH and subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed to the right channel as well. Make sure you turn your notifications on. And we have our website, www.ridechannel.com. Just go there, read our article to 020 0246847898. You can send your questions. And next Sunday, we are talking about servicing your car. We are talking about servicing your car, the kind of things that go into servicing. If you are using a dealer, how the experience is like, and if you are using an independent shop, how the experience is. How do you get the consumables that are used for servicing? How do you know the servicing schedules? Okay, yes, because you are going to an independent shop, sometimes you have to know the service schedule so that you can help the mechanics do what they are supposed to do on your car. Sometimes it's necessary. All right, guys, it's been a great show. So make sure you keep. We also have a WhatsApp group. So if you chat on the WhatsApp line, we will send you a link to add yourself to the WhatsApp group. I just want to say thank you, and Bye for now.
Bye.